Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to another video. My name is Jordan. I'm happy that you're here listening to me yap today because this is my first sit down video, so buckle up. Even though we don't have anything crazy to talk about, but yeah, this video is going to be a Q&A video. I asked a couple questions. Well, I didn't ask a couple questions. I asked for y'all to give me questions and I got a few. So this is gonna be, well, not this, but these questions are split up into four different sections, starting with school. Then we have content creation, career, and personal questions. So yeah, let's hop right into it. First question is, why did you choose the school you're currently in? So the school I go to is Temple University. I chose this school because I just love it. I know that's not like the best answer, but I love the school, I love the campus, and I really like the fact that all of their programs, major programs, are good. I could change my major to anything, and they have like any major you could think of. I could change my major to anything and still be fine. I know I'm getting a good education here, and they just have so many resources and so many opportunities, and it's in a major city, and what's it called? The industry that I'm going into is really prominent in this city. So I am just like, I'm happy. I'm happy where I'm at and I love it here. It took me a minute to figure out where I wanted to go. Actually, did it take me a minute? I had a point in time in high school where I didn't know where I wanted to go. And then one day I was like, I'm gonna take a tour at Temple. And it was my second tour because I had taken a tour at Temple like years before. And I took a second tour and I fell in love with it. Applied early admission. 2 weeks later, I got accepted. So I absolutely love it here. The next question is, what is your major and why? So, I am an advertising major. Why did I choose advertising? Because I didn't want to do marketing. Marketing is not creative. Marketing is usually in a business school, which is a business degree, and it's not a very like creative degree. Like my time here would have been spent like crunching numbers and doing stuff like that. I didn't want to do that. I wanted my college experience to be a good experience, and it wasn't just outside of school. I wanted school to be interesting for me. How rude. Anyways, I wanted school to be interesting for me, and Temple had the option of having an advertising major, which is in the media and communication school. And being an advertising major is more on the creative side. My classes are very engaging, very fun, things that I want to do. I don't have to take math. And I didn't want to do that at all. I didn't want to do marketing because my parents had told me ahead of time that like marketing is not what I think it is at all. And it's not creative how I think it is. It's not going to be fun. It's just not. And so I was looking for like creative marketing majors or digital marketing or things of that sort. And I really couldn't find any at schools that I was actually interested in. And then when I looked at Temple, they had advertising, and I was like, yeah, this is the one. I chose advertising because I'm a very like creative thinker. I've always wanted my careers to revolve around creative thinking and strategy. And the major that I have, advertising, my concentration is brand strategy and research, and I'm able to use my critical thinking skills and my creative thinking skills in order to like come up with ads, commercials, campaigns, things like that. Next question is, how do you like Temple? I love Temple. So that should answer your question because I said it in like the first question. I love it here. And these two questions like together, like how do you like Temple and how did you get out of your comfort zone? They were in like the same comment, but I don't know if they should be separated. So I'm just gonna do the how did you get out of your comfort zone one separate. If we're talking about school wise, I wouldn't say that I'm fully out of my comfort zone. I'm not a like chatterbox. That's a lie. I'm a chatterbox of people who I'm comfortable with. Like, I'm not a very extroverted social person. I'm a homebody. I prefer being home than going out. I'm not a party goer. I don't smoke. I don't drink. That's just not my scene like at all. I genuinely love school. So I'm very to myself on a day-to-day basis. When I talk to people, I'm talking to people at work, and that Getting an on-campus job got me out of my comfort zone because I work with other students and we just talk, and it's helped me talk to people more. When it comes to like content creation, if one thing this year got me out of my comfort zone the most, it was creating content. I can't even lie to you. Putting myself out there like that, like butt out, I was like, oh my gosh, what the heck is going on? I'm not a really in the spotlight type of person, and then I chose an in the spotlight like hobby. I feel like I did a 30-day posting challenge on Instagram, and that really got me fully out of my comfort zone. I like can almost post any video without thinking any type of way about it at this point. Let me know if y'all feel this way in the comments, but I feel like when you post on Instagram, it's much more different and much more personal than when you post on TikTok. Because on TikTok, I feel like nobody knows me, nobody can see me. I forget sometimes that I have followers on TikTok or followers at all. I just be posting stuff. I don't care. But on Instagram, people on Instagram are my family, my friends. They've been following me since I was in middle school. I've had the same Instagram account since middle school. I never changed it. I'm slowly getting out of that because I'm not here to please man. Okay, period. Next question. How hard was it to acclimate from home to college life? Well, for me, I always wanted to go away to school, and I was really ready to get out of my hometown. So I was pressed to go to college. The entire summer before college, moving day could not have came faster. I did not want to be there no more. So my process in getting acclimated to school had less to do with being away from home and more to do with realizing that I was growing up and I was becoming an adult. It was kind of hard. I was prepared to be away from home, but I was not prepared to grow up. And just thinking about one day I'm gonna have kids, one day I'm gonna be married, I'm not gonna live with my parents no more. Just thinking about all that stuff, it's kind of nerve-wracking because it's like I had these 4 years to just like still be like a kid adult type vibe, and then when I'm out of here, I'm in the real world. Literally Ain't It Fun by Paramore, okay? I was listening to that today. One thing I can say is being back in a classroom is weird because all throughout high school I was virtual. So I hadn't experienced being in a classroom in a very, very long time. And so coming back to being in the actual classroom, it was a different experience. Feel like I had to change. Well, I had to go back to my previous learning style. Y'all will very soon realize that I ramble. I'm just gonna put that out there. Is there another question for that section? How do I make sure I'm productive? If I'm being honest, like completely honest, I am not the most productive person in the world. I kid you not. I procrastinate. And I be lazy. But I've been trying to get out of that. Lately, I have been establishing boundaries with my homework, which is so weird to think, but I'm establishing boundaries with my homework to where I try to get all my homework done before the weekend so that my weekends are free and for myself and I'm not doing homework all weekend. That has really helped a lot because like thinking to myself, oh, I'm gonna have my weekends free, it motivates me to get my homework done earlier in the week. What has also helped me be more productive is realizing that every second matters. You know that there are times of the day where you be scrolling on your phone for like hours. And then on the flip side, you could complain and say, I don't have time to do certain things. Like, I don't have time to, like, make content because I'm, like, slammed with schoolwork. And it's like, are you actually slammed with schoolwork, though? Do you actually not have time? Because how much time did you spend scrolling on your phone, which was time that you could have been editing a video or filming a video? So I've been trying to make the most of my time. Every second matters. Time is so precious and it goes by so fast. And literally, if you want to make the most out of your time, you need to have like a to-do list because checking things off of a to-do list gives you an adrenaline rush and it will make you want to keep going. I'm trying to tell you this is psychology. Trick yourself into thinking that you are really gaining something, bro. On Mondays, I look at my calendars of assignments and I go into my reminders app. I will show you right now. I will go into my reminders app and I have like sections split up. So it says, let me run this. So it says get done, and then we have my student org stuff because I'm on eBoards, so that the stuff that has to be done. But academics, we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. On Monday, I go on Canvas and I look at all my, like, the calendar, because it shows like your assignments like for the month. And I look at my assignments for the week and I start organizing them to be done the day before they're actually due, or even 2 days. Or I'll say, oh, I'm gonna get all of these assignments done on this day and all these assignments done on this day for like the, and I'll set it up by class and just keep on checking things off, checking things off, checking things off. Sometimes I'll put due dates and like due times. Also, me having an on-campus job, I'm able to do my homework at my job, so that helps too, because I'll be sitting there like watching YouTube and doing homework, like, just pumping out assignments constantly. Every second matters. That was a whole ramble, but every second matters. That is the main thing you need to get from that whole ramble right there. Every freaking second matters. You know you be scrolling on your phone. You know you be laying in bed doing nothing. You know you be binge watching a show when you really should be doing your homework, but then you end up doing your homework mad late because you were binge watching that show, and then now you can't post your content because you didn't edit the video and it's too late at night and blah 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 blah. When if you would have just edited the video while you was binge watching that show and then crammed your homework in, or vice versa, we wouldn't be here. Now we're heading into content creation. The first question is, what made you start YouTube? I wanted to learn how to do long form content because I'm so used to doing short form content. I started YouTube because it was another form of content creation where I could like show more than just in like a 30 to like 60-second video. Sometimes want to be able to show everything that happens, and I can't put that all in 60 seconds. So I wanted to have a YouTube, and then also on here, I feel like I feel more comfortable sitting down and talking like this. And it was just another like just form of content creation, another way for like the people who follow me to like get to know me. I think I always wanted to start a YouTube channel, but I was just too scared because I feel like I was putting myself out there. But like, girl, you had been putting yourself out there. Be so freaking for real. Next question is, what part of content creation have you improved the most in, and what do you want to improve in more? I think the most that I've improved in, what part I've improved in the most is authenticity. It's very easy to think you have to be somebody else to like make content when that's not the case at all. People rather you be authentic and be yourself than be somebody else. And I felt like I had to like, when I first started content creation, I was doing the whole like dark and moody aesthetic where like turn my exposure down. That's not me. It's too much work. I don't care to give luxury because I don't live a luxury lifestyle. I'm a college student. Sometimes I felt like I had to put on a certain voice. The first time I did a voiceover, I sent it to my boyfriend, and he was like, it's not bad, it just don't sound like you. And I was like, oh. But I've gotten better at being authentic to myself and not caring what people think about me, how I sound, what I do on a daily basis. And I show everything. I made a video about me spilling a smoothie on me. It was my life. I make lifestyle content. Of course, I'm going to post that I spilled a smoothie in public. I want to improve my editing though, because I don't edit bad. I don't have bad editing skills. I just don't put enough time into my editing. And I think if I put more time into it and learn how to do more things, like editing wise, like cool things, then my videos could be 10 times better. The next question is, how have you continued to find motivation and inspiration to continue to grow your account? Anytime somebody comments and says something like they love my video or just something sweet, it makes me want to keep going. I can't lie. It makes me happy knowing that like, there's people that enjoy watching my content and like, I entertain them. For me, I just feel like this is my life. Sometimes I feel like my videos are boring, but like, it'd be the videos that I think that like, are boring that somebody says, oh, I love your videos. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, thanks. So that makes me happy. And that motivates me because it's not about the followers, but knowing that there's people watching that enjoy watching me, it does make me smile and does motivate me a little bit. When I don't have people interacting, engaging, when the views are low, what motivates me is knowing that it's all in God's hands and it's all His timing at the end of the day. It's not something that I need to force or rush or change myself to do. The only thing that I'm supposed to do is work with what He's given me and what He's blessed me with. Next question is, what is your driving force / key motivation? This is fun for me, so that's like a really big key factor in me being motivated. And also, you guys engaging with me, interacting with me helps me. Next question is, explain the difference in how you go about creating content now as a Christian versus when you were in the world. I don't think I really created content differently when I was in the world. I care less about how fast I'm growing now because being a Christian, I know it's all in God's hands and this is what He wants me to do. So it's all in His hands. If I didn't get a certain opportunity, it's because it either wasn't for me or it just wasn't the right timing. So I don't have to worry about things anymore because I know it's all in God's hands at the end of the day. And when I was in the world, I think I was always frustrated with myself because I was like, what am I doing wrong? What's wrong with my content? Like, what's wrong with me? When it's like, it's all in God's hands at the end of the day. If I am doing something wrong or something I could improve on, I ask God, hey, show me, what can I do? I just consult Him more to help me come up with ideas and help me to keep going. Whereas when I was in the world, I didn't have that upper authority above me that was controlling my life. I feel like I'm explaining it right. Christian girlies would get what I'm trying to say, I guess. The next one says, can you speak about how you find out about conferences for creatives like the one in New York with all the celebrities? So I never posted this vlog, y'all. So sorry. I don't know if I will ever post it. If y'all want to see my CultureCon vlog, I can post that, but at this point, it's been over a month, about to be 2 months. I don't really want to post it because it was so long ago and I didn't get a lot of good footage. It would just be a mini vlog. Sorry. I went to CultureCon back in early October. It was in New York. It is a creative conference hosted by, and the founder is Imani Ellis. How did I find that? I found it because of an ad. I was on Instagram scrolling and there was an ad for the conference. I can insert a picture of me at CultureCon since I didn't post a vlog. Here's me at CultureCon. Okay. Oh my gosh, Alexis Wilkerson was there. Bro, I love Alexis Wilkerson so much, and I wish I would have got up and went and talked to her and took a picture with her, got a video with her. I don't know. Like, I wish I would have did that. And the only reason I didn't was because I didn't want to give up my seat in the second row. I had one of the best seats and I didn't want to give it up, and I didn't want to leave my bag there because I don't trust nobody, so I didn't get up and talk to her. But so many people got videos and pictures with her, and I'm just like, why not me? But it's fine. She reposted me when I posted her though, so I was like, period. It was actually great. And I plan on going back next year, so tap in and y'all should go too. Next section is career. It's only one question, and that is, what is your dream career? I know content creation is in there somewhere. I have a feeling that I'm gonna end up starting a creative marketing agency, but I don't know for sure what my dream career is. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. Stay at home. I don't know. Now we're going into the personal section. The first question is, how have you grown as a person and how have you continued to mature? Having a relationship with God was the biggest step. Like, getting saved was like the biggest step in my, I guess, adult years. I started my relationship with God in December of last year. Oh my gosh, it's about to be a year. I haven't gotten baptized, so you know. Um, you know. But I feel like like not even me finding God, Jesus finding me, like, was a really like big stepping stone in like my growth as like a human, because you kind of just start to like understand life differently. Like, you look at things differently. Like, everything is just so different now, and it's like once you encounter Him, it's really, you can't just back away and leave. You can't. It's hard. And like, there's been times where I'm just like, oh no, I'm just not gonna do this. I'm gonna go back in the world. It doesn't work because Jesus lives rent free in your brain after you encounter Him. No shade. Okay. No shade. But that was like one of the biggest things that like I've grown in, was like growing spiritually and like having a religion, having a faith. Like that's helped me grow in a lot and has shown me a lot about myself. I wouldn't say that like I've drastically like changed my personality or anything, but it has God has really held up a mirror to my face and showed me myself. And I kind of just realized like, wow, like you're broken. Like there's a lot like going on in there that we need to work through. So I guess realizing that like I'm not perfect and that I am broken just like everybody else is, like that has really helped me to like grow and mature, because my mindset is different on just taking things day by day and trying to like be a little bit more Christ-like and be a little bit more better every single day. I wholeheartedly will stand by this statement that encountering God and starting a relationship with Jesus is like the like that's like the first step to maturity. How can you really be mature if you don't know Jesus? Clock that. And if you're not a believer, you're not fully gonna understand, and that's okay. But encountering Jesus is your first step to maturity, because you can't grow into the person that you're supposed to be. Maturity for me started when I met Jesus, because Jesus holds me accountable to a T. The Holy Spirit holds me accountable every single time. Every single time. Like, I can't just go and make decisions anymore and act like it's nothing, because every decision has a consequence, every decision has a price, and God never said that he wasn't going to let you deal with like your consequences. And I think that is a real like step towards maturity, because when you have that moral compass that is the Holy Spirit, that is God, that is Jesus, like when you have that, everything is completely different. Like your maturity level will be different, because your maturity level won't be what the world thinks maturity is. Your maturity level will be what God thinks maturity is. And that's a completely different set of wisdom and morals and principles that like we go by. Like it's completely different. So that I'm standing on that. Me starting my relationship with Jesus is what has started my growth process and has started my maturity, because I don't really feel like I started growing until I met the Lord. Next question is, how has your perception of life changed from the beginning of the year, and what's the same and what's different? I've really learned that sometimes people are placed into your life for certain seasons, for certain transition periods, for certain things. I've also like realized, because I've struggled a lot with like having a really like short temper, and I've realized that like relationships are all about like how you make people feel. It's not what you do for them, and it's not like all these little other things like the materialistic things. It's how you make them feel at the end of the day. And if you hurt somebody, like it's now up to them on it if they want to forgive you. And not one on top of that, not everybody's a believer, so not everybody's gonna forgive you, and somebody can forgive you and still not want to interact with you. And learning that like it's about how I make people feel, like when I'm angry and I let my emotions get out of hand, like how I make people feel in those moments can stick with them. It could be traumatic for them. Those things like can really change a relationship in a second. Like, and it's crazy. And it's honestly a blessing if you have people that like stick by you throughout phases. 'Cause I know with me, I struggle with my mental health. My mental health is low. The way I treat people is low. Like, and when my mental health is high, the way I treat people is high. Another thing that has changed is like my perception of time in my life. Like, time goes by really fast. This semester itself went by really, really fast, and my birthday came very fast. Like I'm 20 years old already, and I wasn't prepared for that. Like everything is just moving so fast, and one day like God just showed me that every second counts, and to think that you have tomorrow to get something done is kind of like, what's the word? Naive, maybe? Ignorant? The word may be ignorant. It's kind of ignorant because that means you think that you have tomorrow, you know? And I'm not trying to get like dark or like dim and grim, but sitting here saying that like, oh, I'll just do it tomorrow. Tomorrow is not promised, which is why every single second, minute, millisecond, if a millisecond is even a thing, matters. And it's very important for you to use your time wisely and to start that thing or like keep going or like just don't hold yourself back like at all. And there were times where I realized like, oh, I could have been much more further if I didn't doubt myself. Time is so precious to where you shouldn't always spend all your time doing homework or all your time trying to run a business or like focusing on success, because at the end of the day, what about your family? You always have to take your family into account too, your loved ones, your friends. Like, life is just so much bigger than success. Like, oh my gosh. But yeah, is there anything that stayed the same? I met Jesus in December, so I guess that has stayed the same. Jesus has stayed the same because I have realized more and more and more each day that Jesus is the way. The next question is, what have you learned about yourself as a person that might benefit others? I have learned that I take the blame for everything because I feel like it's easier when in all actuality it's not, because it gives me a very poor perception of myself. It lowers my self-esteem, and I feel like I'm always carrying a burden and a weight that everything is my fault, when that's not the case. People could be blatantly wrong and disrespectful to me, and I'd still think it's my fault, because if somebody decides to stop being friends with me or like breaks up with me or stop talking to me or gets mad at me, I automatically assume it's my fault, when sometimes it's not. Sometimes that person is prideful. Sometimes that person has something else going on within them that they haven't dealt with. Sometimes it's not you. And I promise you that sometimes it's not you. And I'm not saying that for you to pump your head up and for you to think that, oh, yeah, I cussed her out, but like that doesn't mean that like I was the problem. Okay, sometimes you are the problem. Sometimes you need to have some self-control. And to be honest, usually all fallouts, there's two sides to it and two people are wrong. It's never all one person's fault. Like, some things could have just been handled better, you know? So I really realized that I take the blame for everything. I think it's easier. It's not easier. And if you do that, it's not easier. I promise you it's not easier. It just makes your self-image, like your image of yourself, how you feel about yourself, low. It really does. And I've been working out of that like for the past 3 months. So I feel you. And there's something else I learned about myself. I have learned that I'm a very prideful individual. Like, I get offended real easy, real quick. I'm like, you better come correct or I'm gonna get offended real quick and I'm gonna get defensive, and then it just tumbles down. My pride is really big. I don't know how it got there, but it is. And I'm trying to work out of that because it's actually ridiculous sometimes. Next question is, what are things that people could do for you to show you they love you? Oh, that's a cute question. Spend time with me, take me into consideration, plan things, like taking things off my plate, like in general, taking me into consideration and paying me attention, because like sometimes I feel like nobody's paying me any mind. And if I randomly mention one day how much I love cheesecake, and then you end up getting me cheesecake because you remember me mentioning I said I like cheesecake, or I talk about how like I want a juicer, which is something that I have mentioned. I want a juicer. It's on my Christmas list to my boyfriend. But if I like drop like my mom, right? I wanted a Dutch oven. I kept talking about a Dutch oven, like, because I cook. So I was like, I want a Dutch oven. I need like a crock pot. I need something that I can slow cook in. Like, and I make soup now. So I'm like, oh, I need a Dutch oven. I need a Dutch oven. But I didn't want to buy a Dutch oven. My mom offered to buy me one. I was like, no, I don't want a Dutch oven. And then she called me one day and she was like, oh, you have a package being delivered. And I'm so excited. I'm like, well, what is it? Like, you can't just tell me that. And she was like, oh, I got you a crock pot. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that made me happy because I'm just like, that's like, I feel like my first like big girl appliance. I have air fryer, but like that's like a college student appliance. Like a crock pot, like my first like big girl appliance. And it just made me so happy. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have a crock pot. Like, this is great. Even though I had been talking about a Dutch oven. Stay with me now. So I talked to my mom and I was like, I feel like the crock pot that I have here is much deeper than the one that we have at home. And she was like, yeah, because it doubles as a Dutch oven. Like that, like just small things like that really show me that people like love me and like take me into consideration, because like she literally went out of her way to find something that doubled as a crock pot in a Dutch oven, like for real. And she got it and didn't tell me. And like the day that I found out was like the day that I picked it up. Like it was just stuff like that is like really makes my heart full and like really like shows me that like I'm loved. The one thing that I've always said is that I just want to be taken into consideration. If you take me into consideration, if you can show me that I am on your mind, that like really makes me happy and makes me feel loved. Next question is, what are your favorite things about the world? And this is not world in like worldly sense. I love when people are actually people. Like I recently saw this video of this guy. What is his name? I don't want to say his name is Ace, but I feel like his name is Ace. And he just be on TikTok live doing dances with like random men around the country, like doing whole like choreography. And like it made my heart so full because I was like, this is what being human should be about. Like this is like community. And they're probably all in different time zones all across the world, and they're literally just having fun. Like seeing humans be humans, just seeing people be people. My battery died. Where did I leave off on? Seeing people be people is one of my favorite things about the world. I love seeing people just be themselves. I also have really started to appreciate nature because it's God's creation. Sights like mountains, volcanoes. When I was in Costa Rica, it was so beautiful. I'm gonna put a picture here of the mountains and stuff, but Costa Rica, so beautiful. I love seeing just like the landscape itself. Like, it was just so beautiful. Love that. My last question is, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Well, 5 years from now, I will be 25 years old. I expect to be married by then because 25 means that I will be 3 years out of college, 2.5 years out of college. So I would expect to be married by then. I expect to like be at a stable job. I've traveled a lot. And I would expect to be actually making some type of part-time income from content creation. Substantial part-time income, even if it's just $100 a month. Happy, healthy, living, thriving, traveling. I'm done rambling for the rest of the night. Thank you guys for tuning into this Q&A. I hope you guys learned a little bit about me and love my content even more, or love my personality even more from this video. Who knows? I don't know. Thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in. Thank you for the support and the love. I love you guys. Stay tuned for the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and connect with me on my socials at Jordan Terry with 2 eyes. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!